Hi guys, welcome to today's class. We're still continuing on change of subject. Okay, so we're still continuing on our topic change of subject of a formula. We'll be starting in a few minutes. I just want to connect my students to the class. Just give me a minute. Okay. Welcome guys. I'm sorry I might be using a green pen today because I just observed that the pen that I have, the black pen, is almost finished or is finished. Okay, so let's see how the green pen is going to be. I hope we can make do with this one. Okay, so in our previous class on Wednesday, we've looked at the topic change of subject of a formula, and we looked at what a formula is, what the subject of a formula is, and what it means to change the subject of a formula. So we also looked at some examples of how to change subjects of formula. So in today's class, the focus is to change the subject of a formula and then to solve word problems that involve change of subject of a formula. Okay, so we're going to solve using a green marker. Sorry, what we're going to use today is a green marker. Okay, so let's look at the first example. Please, I'd like to confirm if you guys can see the board clearly. Can you see the board clearly? So let's look at this example. Please, if you cannot see the board clearly, let me know. My black marker just got finished. I just observed that not too long ago. So can you see the green marker? Okay. So we are told to make R the subject of this formula. And the second question is find R when H is equal to 9 centimeter. V is equal to 1848 centimeter cube. And then pi is equal to 22/7. Okay. So we have to find the value of R when H is equal to 9 centimeter, V is equal to 1848 centimeter cube, and pi is equal to 22/7. So we need to work on A first. A says we should make R the subject of the formula. That's the first thing we need to do. Remember, the subject of a formula from our previous class, the subject of a formula is the value you are trying to calculate. And it is usually found alone on the left side. Okay, so let's look at this. So A, we have V is equal to 1/3 pi R square H. So the first thing we need to do is to make R the subject of the formula. Initially, V is the subject of the formula because V is the value that is on the left side of the formula. So this means we need to move R to the left and move V to the right. So how do we do that? First thing is 1/3 pi R square H can be written as V is equal to pi R square H all over 3. Is that correct? Is that correct? 1/3 pi R square H is the same thing as pi R square H all over 3. So that's the same thing. Okay? But we also know that V, excuse me, we also know that V is the same thing as V all over 1. We also know that V is the same thing as V all over 1. Because anything divided by 1 is that same value. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to cross multiply. This numerator is going to multiply 1 to give us pi R square H is equal to V is going to multiply 3 to give us 3V. So now we are close to the answer because we can see that R is now found on the left. But there are some values that are not supposed to be on the left. Pi is not supposed to be on the left. H is not supposed to be on the left. So that means we need to move them back to the right. How do we do that? We divide both sides by pi H. We're going to have pi R square H all over pi H is equal to 3V all over pi H. So this will cancel out these two. We have R square is equal to 3V all over pi H. 3V all over pi H. Okay, so now we've gotten R square is equal to 3V all over pi H, but what we are expected to make the subject of the formula is R. That means we need to eliminate square. To eliminate square, we introduce square root to both sides. So we're going to have square root of R square is equal to square root of 3V all over pi H. So square root is going to cancel out square. This means R is equal to square root of 3V all over pi H. So now we've made R the subject of the formula. How do we know we've made R the subject of the formula? We know that we made R the subject of the formula because R is now found alone on the left. Okay, so since R is found alone on the left, R is the subject of the formula. Next, we look at B. Find R when H is equal to 9 centimeter, V is equal to 1,848 centimeter cube, and pi is equal to 22 over 7. So the second part of this question is simply a question of substitution. So substitution means wherever I see a particular variable, I'm going to replace it with its equivalent. So wherever I see H, I'm going to replace it with 9. Wherever I see V, I'm going to replace it with 1,848. Wherever I see pi, I'm going to replace it with 22 over 7. Okay, so that becomes the second part of the question. So let's look at that. So I'm going to wipe here off. So B, we know that H is equal to 9 centimeter, V is equal to 1,848 centimeter cube, and pi is equal to 22 over 7. This means I'm going to replace all these values with their equivalent. So we're going to have R is equal to square root of 3 multiplied by 1,848 divided by 22 over 7 times 9. Okay. So what is 3 times 1,848? 3 times 1,848, what are we going to have? Please let me know. Three times 1,848. So let me wipe this off. So what do you have? So we have 5,544. So we have R is equal to square root of 5,544 divided by 22 divided by 7. 22 divided by 7 multiplied by 9. What do we have? 22 divided by 7 multiplied by 9. What do we have? What do we have? Good evening, Joe. Nice to see you. So when you multiply this, what do you get? 28.2. You got 28.226. I got 28.28. 28.2871. That's what I got. 28.2. 28.71. So let's go with mine. 28.2871. Okay, so now we have R is equal to square root of what's 5,544 divided by 28.2871. 5,544 divided by 28.2871. I got 195.99. Okay, then we can now do the square root of that value. Square root of 195.99. So we have 13.9996. So R is equal to 13.9996. So approximately 14 centimeters. So R is equal to 14 centimeters. Yeah, if you multiply or you divide first, anyone will give you the same answer. Whether you multiply first or you divide it first, you are supposed to get the same answer. Okay? You're supposed to get the same answer. Okay, so this is a simple way. The first thing we made R the subject of the formula, and then the next thing we did was we found the value of R when we are given the values of H, V, and pi. So this is a simple way. Yeah, correct. So this is a simple way of applying change of subject of a formula in a word problem situation. So this knowledge can also be applied in physics. Yeah, you can be told to find a particular value while you are given other values. So this knowledge can also be applied in physics. So today's class is not going to be that long. We'll just have a short class. So we're going to look at another question. We'll be looking at another question. Okay, so I'll wipe this off. So example, given that K is equal to Q square root of D over R, make R find R when K is equal to 20, Q is equal to 15, and D is equal to 6. Okay. So we are given this question here. Given that k is equal to q square root of d all over r, we're expected to make r the subject of the formula. Also, we're expected to find r when k is equal to 20 and q is equal to 15 and d is equal to 6. Okay. So then the first thing we need to do is make r the subject of the formula. So let's do that. So we know that k is equal to q square root of d all over r. So the first thing we need to eliminate, is we need to eliminate q from the right side. We cannot work on r because r is covered with a square root, and we cannot tackle the square root because the square root is preceded by the q. So for us to tackle the square root, we need to first work on the q, then we can tackle the square root, and then we can tackle r. So let's do that. If we want to eliminate q from the right side, we divide both sides by q. So we have k all over q is equal to q. So on the right, q is going to cancel out q. That means we have k all over q is equal to square root of d all over r. So we've done the first step. The next step is we need to eliminate square root. And for us to eliminate square root, we need to introduce the opposite of square root, which is square. So that means we're going to square both sides of the equation. So we have k all over q squared is equal to square root of d all over r squared. Okay. So on the right, square root and square will cancel out. We have d all over r. But on this left side, k all over q squared is the same as k squared all over q squared. So we have k squared all over q squared. So going further, in order to make r the subject of the formula, we need to cross multiply. So k squared is going to multiply r squared. We have k squared r is equal to q squared is going to multiply d. So we have d q squared. dq squared. Right? So now r is on the left side, but r is not yet the subject of the formula because an unwanted k square is there. So to get the subject of the formula, we need to divide both sides by k squared. So we can divide by k squared, divide by k squared. So k squared is going to cancel k squared. This means we have r is equal to dq squared all over k squared. dq squared all over k squared. So we have made k the subject, we've made r the subject of the formula. The formula is now r is equal to dq squared all over k squared. So we've done the first part. We've made r the subject of the formula. The second part says find r when k is equal to 20, q is equal to 15, and d is equal to 6. That's the next part. So let's work on that. Let's work on that. So we know that K is equal to 20, Q is equal to 15, and D is equal to 6. So we replace those values here. So this will give us R is equal to 6 times 15 square all over 20 square. 6 times 15 square all over 20 square. So what's 15 square? Who can tell us what's 15 square? What's 15 square? What's 15 square? Okay, 15 square is 225. 225. So we have 225 all over 20 square is 400. 20 square is 400. So this gives us 6 times 225 divided by 400. So what's 6 times 225? Let me get that done. Seems many of you are in class without calculators. 6 times 225. Okay, so 1350 R is equal to 1350 all over 400. 1350 divided by 400. R is equal to 3.375. That becomes the answer. R is equal to 3.375. Okay. Nicola Mendy, correct. 3.375. So that's the simple process of making a value the subject of a formula and then finding the missing value when the other values are given. So I'm going to give one question for us to try out. And then after 10 minutes, or after, about 10 minutes, then we work on that. And that will be the end of today's class. The topic is not that complex, so it doesn't have to take us too much time to get it done. So let me write down the classwork. Okay, classwork. Yeah, the classwork is going to be a pretty simple question, but the assignment is going to be a little bit more complex. Okay. So these are the questions. So try these questions out in 8 minutes. Let's see what your answer will be. Try this question in about 8 minutes. Once you get the answer, you can just leave it in the comment section. So if you're done, you can just leave the answer in the comment section. Yeah, anointing, you were saying the focus of the camera. So sorry if you're not seeing it clear enough. Probably you have to buy me another phone, right? Yeah, you have about 4 minutes more. Yeah, anointing is saying go on. No, it's a classwork. Classwork means you guys should solve it. We've done two examples. This topic is not difficult, so two examples for today is okay. Then we're going to do this, do a correction on this one. So three calculations is okay for tonight. There's no need to keep ourselves late for a simple topic like this. Okay, Nicola Mendes said 1. So T is equal to 1. Okay. So we've gotten our first answer. We have about 3 minutes and a few seconds. Okay, 3 minutes more. Here we have 2 minutes more. 2 minutes more. Or less than 2 minutes more. So Nicola said the t is equal to 1. Okay. We only have one answer recorded here. Mm. 1 minute more. Okay, so let's start preparing to solve. So the question says, the simple interest on a sum of money P after T years is given by I is equal to P times R times T all over 100. Make T the subject of the formula. So the first thing we have to do is we have to make T the subject of the formula. So let's write I is equal to P times PRT all over 100. Okay, so this is quite easy. This is quite easy. I is same thing as I all over 1. So since I has an invisible divided by 1 and we brought it out, we can simply cross multiply. So this is going to multiply 1 and T is going to multiply 100. So PRT, so I here is going to multiply 100. So PRT times 1 is going to give us PRT. And I multiplied by 100 is going to give us 100I. So our target is to make T the subject of the formula. So we're going to divide both sides by PR. So we're going to have PRT all over PR is equal to 100I all over PR. Okay, so PR will cancel out PR. We have T is equal to 100I all over PR. So that gives us the value, or that makes T the subject of the formula. So when T is the subject of the formula, we have 100I divided by PR. So now we've made T the subject of the formula. The next thing we are told is find T when P is equal to 3,800, R is equal to 4.5, which is the same as 4.5, and I is equal to 342. So all we need to do is substitute these values into this formula. So let's do that. So T is equal to 100. Our value of I is 342. So times 342 all over P is 3,800. So we have 3,800. Sorry, 3,008. Yeah, 3,800 times our R is 4.5. 4.5. So now, when you do 100 multiplied by 342, we're going to have t is equal to 34,200 divided by 3,800 multiplied by 4.5. What are we going to get? 3,800 multiplied by 4.5. Yeah, who can tell us? 3,800 multiplied by 4.5. The answer is 17,100. So we have t is equal to 34,200 divided by 17,100. So Mendy, you are quite close, but you didn't get the answer exactly. So 34,200 divided by 17,100, that will give you 2. 2. So our t is equal to 2 or 2 years. 2 years. That becomes the answer because our t is in years. So we have 2 years. That becomes our answer. Very simple. So the assignment for today, I'm just going to take a screenshot of it and put it in the WhatsApp group so that you guys can practice it. Right now, I'm going to take a picture of it and put it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Without wasting much more of our time or spending more of our time, I think that will be all for today's class. So I'm going to put 2 questions in the WhatsApp group so you can practice it on your own. Okay. 2 questions. Today is this class is the shortest class we have ever had. I think we've not spent up to 50 minutes yet. We spent less than 50 minutes, and that's okay, so that we can all rest. It's almost the end of the year. For me, I really need rest. So I'm just trying to get to the finish line because I really need to rest. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for being part of the class for the past 50 minutes. We're going to see in our next class next week. Okay, next week should be the last class we'll have for this year. So we'll be ending the class so that we can all have a wonderful holiday and prepare for the next year. Thank you, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.